Brilliance Audio.
Malibu Burning by Lee Goldberg. Performed by Eric Conger. Two federal law enforcement agents, one from the FBI and one from the DEA, were coordinating the stakeout of the Golden State Bank in Ventura, California, from a vacant third-floor office in the Earl Stanley Gardner building across the street. The building was named after the author of the Perry Mason novels, who wrote his classic mysteries in an office on the same floor. The agents sat on folding chairs facing a window that overlooked Main Street, the bank, and the two black SUVs that idled in front of it. So their backs were to the office door when U.S. Marshal Andrew Walker strode in, wearing a white Stetson Shasta cowboy hat and carrying a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. "Morning, gentlemen," he said. The men were so startled by Walker's unexpected arrival that they dropped their walkie-talkies, reached for their guns, and nearly fell out of their chairs before they realized that the only dangers they faced were from high calories and tooth decay. "What the hell are you doing here, Walker?" asked FBI Special Agent Kent DuBrow, holstering his gun. Beads of sweat were already rising on his balding head. "You aren't assigned to this operation." "I was in the neighborhood and thought you might be hungry," Walker said. "I always am when I'm on a stakeout." Walker was an even 6 feet tall, his body linebacker thick, and he wore a loose-fitting sport coat over a J.C. Oxford shirt and Levi's 501 jeans to hide his Glock and his badge. Ventura was a small town on the Southern California coast and had been in a slow, steady decline for decades, ever since its oil wells stopped pumping and the beach was severed from downtown by the 101 freeway. The relentless surf had eroded away much of the beach, leaving a few wet clumps of sand clinging to the long line of boulders and rubble that had been dumped along the edge of the pedestrian promenade in a desperate attempt to save it from destruction. Business on Main Street was so bad that the few occupied storefronts were primarily filled by non-profit thrift shops, from Goodwill to the Coalition for Family Harmony. All that downtown Ventura had going for it now was the historic San Buenaventura Mission at the northwest end of Main Street and the county fairgrounds on the rapidly eroding waterfront. "You didn't drive all the way up from L.A. just to ruin my diet," DuBrow said, picking up his walkie-talkie and turning his attention back to the street. Walker raised the lid of the Krispy Kreme box to display the wide assortment of donuts to the DEA agent. "I'm Andrew Walker, U.S. Marshals." "Clyde Preston, DEA," the agent said, peering into the box and sniffing the donuts like a curious beagle, which he resembled. He was short and had big ears and close-cropped brown hair. "Is that a chocolate ice custard?" "Help yourself." Walker had already eaten two on the drive up from the donut shop in Oxnard. "You didn't answer my question," DuBrow said to Walker. "I'm chasing a fugitive." "Take a number and wait your turn to get him, which is going to be years," DuBrow said. "Diego Grillo is the American representative of the Vibora cartel, a whale. You chase minnows." "This is a joint FBI-DEA operation," Preston added, talking with his mouth full. "We're staking out a private bank that Grillo is using to launder $1 million in marked money that he got in a drug smuggling sting that we set up. Grillo and his bodyguards walked into the bank right before you arrived. We're taking him down, and the Vibora's entire operation in America along with him. Thanks for the donuts, but whatever your interest is in him doesn't really matter."